Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Duke and Dutch Show. Today, we are talking about Miss Gina Carano, very famous MMA UFC fighter,
Hmm.
turned Hollywood starlet for a little bit, had a very nice working relationship with Disney Channel,
Yeah,
starred in The Mandalorian
it's pretty
until it
good.
all came crashing down from from Instagram post she made that
Yeah, I
was
believe so.
interpreted as anti-Semitic, and that she would put the beep boop pronouns in her bio.
Hmm.
But now we've come full circle. There was a huge thing, huge lawsuit going on.
Yeah,
Elon Musk. I believe it was Elon Musk, right? I
yeah.
haven't
There
read
was
the
some
article.
pressure from him. There was some funding, I believe, on
I
his
think
part.
Elon Musk
What?
decided he was going to fund the lawsuit, and he said,
Yeah,
"I'll
that
back you. I'll
that's I
support you.
believe
I think this is
in
right."
the second article that we have. We'll be talking
And
about that.
it seems that Miss Gina Carano has actually won her lawsuit
Yeah,
against Disney for unlawful termination, which I 100% agree with. All
yeah,
the videos I've seen back this up.
yeah.
You know,
But first,
and obviously, I want to.
let's talk about how it happened. Let's talk about
All right,
why she got in trouble and why she got fired. Uh,
all
Gina
right, let's get into it.
Gina played Cara Dune for the first two seasons of The Mandalorian, but she was fired from the
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars spinoff in February 2021. Her firing came shortly after she faced controversy for posts on social media. Dun dun dun.
Oh,
The
the
actress
horror.
reposted a statement on her Instagram stories in February 2021 in which a person was comparing the treatment of conservatives in the US during the pandemic to the treatment of Jewish people in Nazi Germany. I remember this
Uh,
comparison. That was very
I don't.
silly. That
I don't think that's
people
actually.
exploded
No, that's
about it.
not. That's not 100% correct. Actually, I think what it really was, if I remember correctly, and maybe I don't,
The
it was
X.
more about the people, the anti-vaxxers, and people who were kind of opposed to taking the vaccines, and of course that gets lumped in with conservatives, but that's not
Yeah,
everybody. At least that's my
this is
interpretation of it.
obviously the
Now,
wordage of the person who wrote the article. So we know that we got to take it with a grain of salt because this
what's
is
the other?
from
Oh,
their
it's from
point of view.
people.
Yeah, this is from
Yeah,
their point of
okay.
view. But yeah, so there was some controversial posts. We know the more specifics of it being more about the actual injection itself and not taking it or not wanting to take it and being forced to take it, all that wonderful stuff. Great time of history. And the
And
other problem was, although Carino's message about conservatives was the final straw for Disney, she also faced controversy
Sean,
for other actions on social media. The one specifically, like we highlighted, the beep boop bop. She changed her bio on X to read beep boop bop, which some people interpreted to
which
mean that she was mocking the pronouns the social media user included in the profile. However, she later claimed on X that beep boop bop has zero to do with mocking trans people and insinuated that she was referring to the Star Wars character R2D2. I mean, he does make those noises. I, do I
um,
think somebody should be fired because of stuff they post on social media when it's like an opinion like that about getting an injection?
no, the whole thing is so stupid. It's like
Yeah.
they targeted her. Listen, the Disney company
It
specifically
was a
targeted
very
Gino
sensitive
Carano.
time for the whole
No,
world, so
because they did. No.
I
It's
feel
because
like
they
they
didn't
took a
like her
very sensitive
politics.
approach to the handling of her.
Gina
That's
Carano is a conservative person, and they didn't like her
yeah.
politics. And hey, her co-star Pedro Pascal, champion for the underdog. I stand up to fascists. I
Yeah.
don't like bullies. You never stood up for Gina Carano, you coward.
Yeah,
Never
they
did
were
that.
great friends, weren't they?
They worked together, and
Yeah.
I don't know if they were friends, but they did work together. I mean, I never saw Pedro Pascal. I guess he didn't have anxiety back then. He wasn't touching her like he's touching Vanessa
Mm.
Kirby. But you know,
He got
his
more
anxiety.
comfortable, or maybe he got more anxious. I don't know. Yeah, whatever it
He
is.
got more anxious now. You know, it's like that's a great thing. Hey, let me go fondle this woman in public because I have anxiety.
Yeah. Well, apparently she also talked about voter fraud, but either way, Disney
Well,
decided to cut ties with her.
which a lot of conservative pundits were talking
Yeah.
about it. Stuff.
Again, all the stuff that she was talking
She's
about,
more
like
run
since when was it not allowed to talk about? But okay, apparently it's
because
enough
she
to
works
get
for
you
the Disney
fired for
Channel.
Disney. Yeah.
And I compared it with my favorite show, The View. I compared it with that, and I said Whoopi Goldberg has said way worse things about the Holocaust, and
Yeah.
I don't even know if she did. I don't know if she did it. She probably didn't do it to be mean. I think she did it because she was ignorant. But
Honestly, yeah, I agree.
that's but let but you
But
they
either
would
way,
not
the
give
comments are there.
But they wouldn't give Gina Carano that same grace, and why?
Well,
Because she has the wrong politics.
according to
That's
Disney
and everybody
CEO
knows.
Bob Chapek, said Disney fired Carano because her comments didn't align with the company's values. He explained that Disney
Oh,
is not left-leaning or right-leaning, but
oh
instead
yeah,
stands
really.
for values that are universal. Values of respect,
Ah,
values of decency, values of integrity, values of inclusion.
I
Lucasfilm
gotta bridge
also
this.
explained
I
the
gotta bridge
firing
this.
by
Tell them in
saying,
Brooklyn if they believe that.
yeah, right, by
God.
saying a statement, her social media posts denigrated denigrating people based on their culture and religious identities are aberrant,
Abhorrent and unacceptable.
unacceptable. That's how they view it, I guess. But again, I don't think they were warranted, and apparently neither did the judge. According to this
She probably got
article,
out. Honestly, she probably got out of the Mandalorian at a good time.
yeah,
I heard it was. I mean, I
I
heard
mean,
season 3 was absolute
yeah,
crap.
I,
So
oversaturation. We've talked about it before. It was good for a little bit, but then once you started adding another side story to another side
no, they
story
just
to
made
the,
it a they made
and
it
then
a
it's
female girl boss thing. It wasn't even about
man.
Mando anymore. It was about Bo-Katan. And oh, Jesus,
Well,
like
either way, back to our topic. The lawsuit has
everything's gonna be a
finally
girl
been
brand
settled
now.
with Disney and Lucasfilms after she was fired from the Star Wars franchise spin-off The Mandalorian. She was dropped from the cast in 2021, like we previously stated,
Hmm.
and a former MMA fighter. The agreement, which has not been made public, comes after her case gained support and funding from Elon Musk, as you
Yeah,
stated
she was the
earlier.
Ronda Rousey before Ronda Rousey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was very popular in
she's a
MMA.
beast.
She got a good following. She
Yep.
describes the settlement as the best outcome for all parties involved, adding she was excited to flip the page and move on to the next chapter. I'm sure that chapter came with probably 5 zeros, or maybe even 6. Shoot. She also thanked Musk, saying she'd never met the tech billionaire, but he stepped in to do this, quote, good Samaritan deed for me in funding my lawsuit, unquote. That was the
Shout
rumor,
out to
and
Musk.
yeah, absolutely, kudos to him. Good job on helping her, because clearly, she was, they were in the wrong in this situation. So I'm glad that they're paying for the consequences.
They
Yes,
gotta
I'm
be on the
smiling,
road.
quote unquote. She signed off. The actress witness originally sued for wrongful termination and sexual discrimination, claiming that the two of her male co-stars had made similar posts and faced no penalty. She had sought
Wow.
75,000. Wow, only 75,000. Okay, in
That's that.
damages
Oh no.
to be
That. Oh no.
recast
Let
in
me
the
go
popular
back to
series.
the. I want to go back to the co-stars real
Go
quick.
ahead.
She's incorrect about that. They
Okay.
made statements like that, but what you need to understand is that they have the right politics. She does not. So she can't voice her opinion. I mean, how many conservatives
It
really
all
are there in
depends. Yeah,
Hollywood
exactly. It all depends what
still
your statement
working?
aligns with.
Zachary Levi, I've talked about. James Woods, Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
People who have come out and are more on the conservative side, they don't work anymore. They don't have jobs. They don't want to deal with it's a very anti right wing, very anti conservative, very liberal. It's like
Yeah.
the California is la la loony land. It's been like that
Oh
since
yeah.
the
Big
'90s.
time.
I think it's definitely gotten worse.
In a statement released since the settlement, the
Uh,
production
I'll
company
see you in
said
a week and a half, California.
said that it
I'm going
looks
there.
forward to identifying opportunities to work together, quote unquote. Yeah, hopefully nothing crazy happens in the airport this time. The company
I
describes Miss Carano as someone who, quote, was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff. She worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect, end quote, it added. Miss Carano is a former mixed martial arts fighter and has faced pushback in the past for deriding mask wearing policies during the COVID pandemic and making false
which,
claims of voter fraud
which we
in the
now know that
2020.
really didn't do anything. It was
Yeah.
all pushed on people
And
that
then
really didn't
claims
wasn't
of
helpful.
voter fraud in the 2020 U.S. presidential election, which Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden. Which, as we stated before in
Eh,
previous segments, there might not be
eh.
absolute proof, but miraculously, I guess 10 million voters just decided not to vote in 2024. Who knows?
No, but why? Why? I mean, okay. Let's say you believe that, and people are like, "Well, that's not true." Why would you not be allowed to hold that belief? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly.
What is
Why
what?
why can't you believe that?
Is something
It's okay to
necessarily
disagree.
wrong with that
You shouldn't
belief?
get fired because you disagree. That's crazy.
No,
Anyway, I'm
that's
happy.
insane.
I'm definitely happy she won. I can't believe it was only 75,000. Like, was that even her salary for a year? But all
Well,
right, whatever. I'm happy she won.
I don't even know if that was their salary for an episode, but
Yeah,
Disney is in talks now. They want to bring her back. Whether they're
yeah,
going
I
to do that or
heard.
not, I don't know because Disney has spurred people in the past. Like they want to make a Pirate Six.
I don't. Yeah, I heard Johnny Depp. Yeah, but
I
he's
don't
gone
know if
on
Johnny
record
Depp's
saying that
gonna.
he would never work
I
with him
don't.
again. He's said numerous times he would never work with him again.
Well, then they can't make Pirate. I mean, they can make it. It's just going to lose
They
money.
can, yeah,
You
they
don't
can
have
make
anything
it,
like
just
Johnny Depp.
not good. But anyway, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and let us know what you think of this
So
settlement. Are you happy that she won, or do you think that she was rightfully
no,
fired?
everybody's happy.
I don't think she was
Everybody's
right.
happy she's won.
I'm not gonna say everyone. I'm sure
Mm,
somebody out there thinks it, and I'm
all right.
okay to listen to it. I'll read your comments,
Well,
however you feel. Let me know. Thank you
unless
for
you're
joining us
retarded,
on
you're
another one.
happy.
Thank you for joining us on another one.
All right, later.